Hey, Graham. How are
So
you?
I'm all right.
Welcome back, everybody, to the MISFITS podcast.
You welcome back, everybody.
Tonight, we have a bunch of shit going on. First of all, my nephew, who is a little friendly, is right here doing a puzzle on my table. So if y'all get knocked around or you hear talking or other people talking, I can't help it. He's talking to his girlfriend on FaceTime, and we're all just sitting here shooting the shit. And then we have Grim over here with us. So, Grim, I did talk to our other people. We do have two guests lined up.
Oh,
Um,
good.
they just have to get their schedules in order. And
Okay.
y'all, I'm serious. He's sitting here doing a puzzle. No lie. He's doing fireworks. So, but we do have two guests lined up. We just got to get their schedules in order with ours to where it'll coincide with the time that we can go live and they can go live. And um, that intro is temporary. Um, that new intro. Hey Sandra, how are you? The new intro, that is just a temporary intro. That is actually my friend playing music. He is playing acoustic in it, and that is a picture that I made on Canva. I do believe that's where I made that picture from a long time ago with my name. That is not permanent. That is just something I threw up tonight because I got tired of all the other ones I have. Okay, so Grim,
Yeah.
we were talking before the stream, and we decided on a couple topics to talk about tonight.
Oh, yeah. Most
And
definitely.
one of them being relationship, dating, just the whole genre of men and women from two different perspectives, from a woman's perspective and from a man's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I
That we
want
did.
to know I want to know, Graham, your experience as a man on the dating scene.
Oh, man on a dating scene. Well,
Yeah.
that's a bit of a kind of a mystery, to be honest. I haven't been on the dating stream, so I can tell you what I've been through.
Yeah.
So, first off, I've went through at the time I was before this, the last time we talked, I was thinking, well, I won't say her name, but and she lived with her parents,
Mhm.
and I started dating her because I liked her attitude. Her don't give a damn attitude, you know.
Yeah.
And she was a bit snarky, and I like that in a woman. Personally, I like snarky women, and I don't like the delicate type. I don't like the most men like those petite women. I'm not that type of guy.
Yeah.
If I got with a petite woman, I'm afraid I might break her.
Okay. I mean, that's your thing.
Well, okay, I can with my legs, I can leg press over 300 pounds,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
I don't want to literally break the person.
Yeah.
So I date a bit thicker women, and yes, the woman I'm with now, she is older than me by
hmm And
9
I've met her,
years.
you guys. I've met her.
Yeah,
She's super nice, super sweet.
when she wants to be.
But she was nice to me anyway.
Yeah, she's nice to you. Not
hmm
so much. She'll when I call her on the phone. This is what I like about her. She'll answer the phone with, "What do you want?"
Okay, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, yeah, it
I
is.
That's funny. I kind of had that happen to me a couple of times. So yeah, the what do you want? What you need or what you need? I've had that happen. What you need?
But as a man on the dating scene, there's a lot that's expected of us
Mm-hmm.
that women don't know about. One is, don't expect a man not to pay for the first date. If he's any type of man, period, he'll pay for the first date. For most men in general, we feel like we have to
Yeah.
pay for the dates. We just do. It's just what's embedded in us, ingrained in us all our lives.
Yeah.
Men pay their own way. That's
Yeah.
me personally. I won't go to a restaurant if I can't pay for it. If I can't pay my own way, I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
I've turned down going places with a friend of mine plenty of times because I couldn't pay my own way. I'm just that way. But men in general, good men in general,
Mm-hmm.
pay for the dates in general. That's
Yeah.
expected of us.
I
Now,
think
if
that's more of a social norm. I think definitely a social norm because I I growing up was taught that the men ask the women on the dates and that the men open the doors, pay for the food. I was taught that as well. So, but I believe that's a social norm, that's a society's norm. I don't necessarily think that has to be the way it should be. I'm all about, if both want to go in halvesies or go Dutch, fine. You know, if it's just meeting for coffee, each pay for their own coffee. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But
well,
I personally think if a guy is asking, or the dominant person is asking the other person that may be less dominant, more submissive, if they're asking them on a date, then they should be the ones responsible for paying for the date.
that if you ask, then you pay.
Yeah,
That's the thing is that most of the time, 90% of the time, the person that's the most dominant, not all the time, is the
yeah,
male. And he
yeah.
is usually the one asking. Not always is the case. There are some females that are more dominant than male and do ask. And a lot of the time, the men are still the ones that pay. That's
It's good to see you, Catalyst. Thank you for stopping in. Even though you can't stay, I appreciate you so much. Much love to you, honey.
yeah. Be
But
safe.
I absolutely agree. I think that's just the way. I think it just depends on how we were brought up, though, and how society has influenced us on the dating scene, or hell, some people nowadays they don't even call it dating. They call it
No.
going out or hanging out or whatever. They don't even call it dating anymore,
Well,
really.
my first date with the one before the one that you met, we came back to my place and watched. Well, we were supposed to watch a movie, but it didn't turn out to be a movie. We didn't watch a movie. We hit my bedroom. Just put it that way.
Yeah,
That was on the first date.
yeah.
So there was a little bit of hanky panky on the first date.
Well, the way I see it, if it's two grown consenting adults, do it. Do what you
Yeah,
do. It doesn't matter. First date, 10th date, 20th date, 2 years down the road. I say if you're grown and enough consent and giving consent, then it is what it is. Hi, Ace. How are you? Good evening. We hope you're having a great evening as well.
yeah.
But I agree. I think as long as it's consensual, do what you do, boo. Do
So
what you do.
you heard the men's side coming from a man.
Yeah.
What is expected socially for a woman on a date?
Um. I feel like we are expected to be little ladies, and we're expected to be kind and courteous and considerate and quiet and listen to the gentleman talk about his day and stuff like that. And me personally, that's not me. I'm not I'm not that way. I was on both of my two major first dates of my life. I was the quiet, shy type. I was very shy, very quiet. But me now, totally opposite. If we, I'm the type of person, if we can't hold a conversation, there's no reason for us to even be having a dinner.
That's understandable. That's the
Um,
hard thing is, sorry, the hard thing is for a man on the first date is to come up with something to talk about. So it usually winds up when I was on the dating scene,
mhm.
I would pick something random to talk about, which usually wound up me talking about my artwork or what games I play,
Yeah.
something like that. The thing is that in my opinion, it's a lot easier for women to
Mhm.
start the conversation because women do a lot more talking than men do.
Yes. Yeah. For the most, for the most part that I've, for the most part that I've encountered with gentlemen and some females, us women as a whole do tend to talk more and have more to talk about than men. Most men there's like a few top things that's hunting, fishing, gaming, movies, television, or sex. That's pretty much the top six.
That's correct.
Yeah. And women, we talk about, lifehood, childhood. We talk about our traumas, our past exes, our lives, our children, if we have any, our hobbies, crafts, you name it, we can come up with it.
I guess it's because men are more accepted in society as the people who are supposed to be more doing the action,
Hmm.
showing more than talking. Don't get me wrong. There are some people men that love to show off.
Yeah.
The thing is that most men are ones that are of action. They do it by action. Instead of saying, okay, I love you, they'll show it.
Yeah.
Instead of, a woman has to, from my experience, women have to hear the word "I love you" from a man. The thing is that a man is one of those people that is rather show it because actions do speak louder than words.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I mean, it could be different for a lot of other people,
Yeah.
but
And guys, this is just our opinions. These are just our thoughts, our experiences, our opinions. You may differ from us, and that's fine. If you do, leave a comment. Let us know. Leave a
yeah,
comment after the show. Let's have a discussion about it. I'd love to hear everybody else's opinions on the topics that we plan on talking about tonight. Um, that's just like I think for not all, but some of us ladies, there are a couple of things that we genuinely look for in men, and that is stability, comfort, protection. Those would be the top three. And then you have, honesty, loyalty, kindness, things like that. But comfort and stability and protection, call it old school, call it whatever you will. But I do think those are the top three things that most women look for in a man if they're looking for a man. or a
Yeah,
partner in general. That's what they're looking for. If they're this on the submissive end of the stick.
yeah. Now there are some women that are on the opposite side of the relationship. They'll take more of less submissive role,
Oh yeah.
and a lot of the time, not most, but half the time, those women are looking for the submissive type of man
Hmm.
because they're dominant. They want
Yeah.
something submissive.
Yeah. True that.
That
That is true.
and
I
some
think
men,
like you said, I think it just depends on which partner is what, because I understand there's people that are going to say no, me and my partner, whether it's man man, woman woman, male female, doesn't matter. They're going to say, oh, we're equal, we're equal. I'm sorry, in my opinion, there's always one that is more dominant than the other,
exactly. No matter
whether
how
it
you cut it,
be
there is.
yeah, whether it be in pay, household chores, taking care of children, whatever it may be. I believe there's always one that is more dominant than the other.
It takes more of a male role, no matter how the person dresses. They'll take
Yeah.
more of the dominant role.
Yes.
It may be slight. Their voice usually, if it's a man, a male dominant male's voice is usually more dominant. The voice is a little bit deeper. It commanding. It's more commanding. Is what I'm trying to get at. More commanding.
I think my nephew here, I think he agrees with you when you said it's more dominant and deeper.
Yeah.
Gosh, she's being loud. Yeah, she's being loud. I love her though. She can't see me.
Darkwood
But
says, "Hey,
hey Darkwoods, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Like I said, sorry for all the background noise. It is what it is. My house is chaotic, and it just is what it is. But I do believe though that, like I said, I personally believe that no matter what you identify as, male, female, lesbian, stud, whatever, bear, bull, whatever, there's always going to be one dominant person and one submissive person in a role in the relationship. But when I am, I'm not going to say I'm single. It's not what I'm going to say, because I'm
you're in
not.
between."
Yes, I'm in between. We have decided not to put a label on it right now. We have both agreed that we are the type of people that we are and have became with each other. We have decided not to put a label on it. We don't need a label. We don't need to be put in a box like everybody else. We just ebb and flow however it may go at the time. We do talk every week, whether it be by text or phone. We do have meetups, but it, like I said, we don't put a label on it. We don't necessarily date, really. It's not really a dating thing. So that's what confuses me, because we're together, but we're not dating. But what do you call it if you're not dating?
Um. Well,
What would you
what
call
do you
it?
call it? Friends with benefits.
Kipper said hiding in the bushes.
That works too.
Hey, I'm not hiding in the bushes though. I'm just keeping my bush.
Oh wait, that's right. You roll behind them.
Exactly. I roll behind the bushes. I roll behind the bushes. But yeah, it's just I prefer it to be private. A select few people, as you are one of them, only a select few people really know what's going on. in my life, but I prefer to keep it private. I don't mind talking about like dating and expectations and things like that, but when it comes to the details, the intimate details, I prefer to keep that private, especially for now. Even though I normally am an open book, I just prefer to keep it private for now because it just depends on where it goes.
Yeah,
You know, it,
I
it just,
it could go either way. My
yeah.
me and my girlfriend, we call it at the point in time we called it friends with benefits.
Hmm.
We didn't know, and then it got a little bit out of hand because friends of hers wouldn't leave it alone. How's your
Yeah.
boyfriend? Blah blah blah. You know that. So we
Yeah.
decided just okay, since they're already saying it, let's just
Hey,
we wasn't much
Primal.
gonna.
Yeah.
Hey, but like I
But
said, we don't.
I get the friends with benefits thing. That I can deal with. I can really deal with the friends with benefits thing. I really can. Especially being my age, and let me tell you, there are a lot of
She
weird.
don't.
I'm not old. There are a lot of there are a lot of gosh, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. And what that means in my community that I belong to is it's don't knock somebody else's things they enjoy.
Yeah.
However, there are some perverted ass people out there.
Oh yeah.
And I seem to be a target for them for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know how I attract them in. I don't get it. But I seem to be a magnet for the outright losers of the bunch.
And Moon, I have been my past girlfriend, my ex. She had some weird stuff. She was kink. She liked to be
Yeah, you
a
see
lot worse, my friend. A lot
that
worse. Yeah.
that's the community I belong into.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm collared, so let's just leave it at that.
She liked to be. We were.
Yeah,
She liked to be that done. That done to her.
yeah, that was her kink. That was her fetish.
Yeah. She also had a few others that I will not go into.
Yeah, with all due respect to her, I completely
Bro,
understand. And the way I see it, like I said, there's a rule: safe, sane, and consensual. As long as it's safe,
Mm-hmm.
sane, you're in your right mind, and consensual. We're all adults here. Do what you do.
Yep.
Hi Paula, how are you?
Hey, Paula.
So, I mean, but with dating in general, there are, I'm telling you, men and women, and I've experienced both sides. There are some strange ones out there.
Oh yeah.
Some really strange ones. And the most thing I get is, what's it like having sex with an amputee? And my answer is always to them, I don't know. I can't fuck myself. I don't know. I haven't been with one. I really don't know. And they just kind of shut up after that and leave me alone. But I get that question out of, let's say, if I'm on a scale of 0 to 100, I get that question 90 times.
Oh wow.
It's that
They asking
common.
the wrong person.
That it's that freaking common to ask me anything to do sexually with being a double amputee. I did not realize it was such a fetish until I became one. And then I knew it was, but I didn't realize how big of a fetish it was.
There are now. If you want to get into fetish, you want to go to Japan.
God.
Yeah.
there are some women in Japan that there's this little red string that you can buy anywhere at
Mm-hmm.
these shops. It's a string. They love it being wrapped around here, twisted around here, and their arms, their legs being tied to it, and their arms being tied by the back.
Yeah.
And I've seen it done on TikTok. I've seen an actual girl do that on TikTok with clothes on, but still did it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how the hell do you get any pleasure out of being tied to flip up
Yeah.
like that?
And if
And
y'all are wondering why I'm looking down, like I said, my nephew's doing my 17-year-old nephew who is bored, and 420 friendly is doing a puzzle by me, and he's wanting me to help him with the pieces.
I just asked you to move the ones that weren't his pieces.
So I'm talking, listening, doing a podcast and a puzzle. But yeah, there's plenty of kinks and fetishes. I know that there's a whole world range, and like I said, that's why I said don't yuck anyone's yum. It don't judge somebody else just because it's not your thing. Don't don't yuck
hello,
anybody
Auntie
else's.
Venom.
Hi Auntie Venom, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. But I just think the whole dating thing in general is overrated.
I wouldn't say overrated.
Mm-hmm.
I would say we've gotten to the point where we're too damn comfortable to come out of our comfort zone. And like I said, the first date I had with my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
was in my apartment, and all we did was watch movies. Well, didn't watch movies, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was too damn my own place to go anywhere else. And in my opinion, I don't think dating's overrated. I think it's underrated
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people, women in general, in my opinion, feel more comfortable meeting the guy in public and eating in public with the person.
Yeah.
The thing is that also, just my opinion, a lot of people have two ways. They're one way in public and they're another way in private.
You hit the nail on the head right there. Very, very true. Very true. I have run across that a lot. A lot.
And it's just creepy is that the way they are in public, they're usually, from my experience, are nice. But then when you get them in private, they can be as ugly as sin.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've ran into that situation a couple of times. And
So,
needless to say, they're no longer around. No.
yeah.
I don't tolerate that. I am who I am here. I am who I am behind closed doors, minus a few private things. But I'm not gonna put a smile on my face here and say I'm happy go lucky and then not be happy go lucky behind closed doors. I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I just am what I am.
Those are the people I call two-faced that do that.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm as goofy in public as I am in private. My girlfriend would let you tell you that.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what people think about me.
You've seen how me and Kipper interact behind the scenes. Yeah. I mean, even right now, you see how we interact. I am the way I am. Yeah, I am the way I am regardless. Because I say I am.
No, it was.
I know. But I just think, like I said, the reason why I think dating is overrated, like you said, underrated, I get that. But the reason why I say it's overrated is because so many people now are what I call one hit wonders. And I understand if they stop seeing somebody because there's no connection there, they don't connect, they don't g-haw with each other, it just didn't
Yeah.
work. I get it. But I think too many people are one hit wonders. They go on one date, they expect too much, and then they're done on to the next.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I think it's overrated because it's hard to find somebody that will actually put the effort in to really date, to really get to know somebody, to really spend time with that person, talk to that person, experience that person. I think that's why I say overrated because people don't do that. They just it's a one hit wonder and they move on.
That's true. Well, I mean, the thing is that in my opinion, what's really
Hmm.
overrated is those dating apps.
Okay, that we need to talk about because I've got some stories about that. Shush, Kipper. I don't know if y'all can hear him laughing by me, but he is laughing his ass off because he knows my stories. He knows what I have been through. I downloaded, I'm not going to say which ones, but I will just say a multitude of them because I was
This
bored.
motherfucker's got like 40 of them.
It's not 40. It's
Roughly.
not 40. It's, let's just say when you look on your smart screen, it's a whole screen full. Let's just put it that way.
That's
It's a
over
whole
40.
page. It's a whole page of them.
No,
But
there's like
That's
2 or 3
over
things.
40.
but I did it one night out of boredom because I was up late, had nobody to talk to, and I thought, why not make some new friends? Whether male or female, I didn't care. I just thought, why not make some new friends? And if I find somebody to date on the way, so be it. Oh boy. Let me tell you, there have been some doozies
Yeah.
on these dating apps. Some absolute doozies. Now, granted, there are some really good people out there that are looking for the same things you're looking for, probably. If you're listening, it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Mm-hmm.
Auntie Venom said POF did me in. Oh my God. You know what, though? I agree with you about POF. However, that's actually where I met my friend. Believe it or not.
Okay.
I met my friend on POF.
Yeah, I met.
Staticky,
There's
am
this
I
one
staticky to
girl.
y'all or is it just Grim?
Huh?
I was asking him, are we both staticky or is it just you? I can't tell. I don't know if it's my net or your net.
Well, I am also streaming something else. I'm watching a Roku channel.
Can y'all hear us still? Are we loud and clear or is it like sketchy or staticky on either one of our sides?
Testing 1, 2,
Let us
3.
know. Because I can barely hear Grim now.
You can barely hear me?
I can hear you better now.
Okay. 5.
This isn't all the edge pieces.
I know, Bub. I'm looking. I'm trying
looking
to help.
too, but that's.
Well, we got a 5, so.
No, you got it. It wasn't that. I was just saying.
Okay. I couldn't tell if it got, I heard static galore. Like earlier, I told you I was hearing static come through. It was doing it again for some reason. It's raining here, so which my phone says I've got full service and 5G, but that doesn't mean anything.
That don't mean nothing.
No, not with this phone anyway. This phone is.
So you met him on POF, huh?
Yeah, so POF, back to POF. I did meet my boo thing on POF. I got very lucky, very kind, very sweet, very weird and eccentric like me. He's a goth. He's a musician. He's intelligent. He's great. But that was like a needle in a haystack. It really was, because everybody else that wanted to message me, because I didn't message them, they messaged me. Everybody else that messaged me were whack. And when I say whack, I mean whack. They
Crazy?
were, yes. I mean, certifiably should be in the nut house crazy.
Yeah.
And so then I went from POF to Meet a Mate.
Meet a maid.
Meet a Mate. It's like
Oh, meet a maid. Okay.
it's like Plenty of Fish, but different. Hey Doug, how are you? Good evening. It's kind of like POF, but it's more. I don't know. It's just a little bit different, guys. Hey Carla, how are you, hun? Guys just tend to use Meet a Mate more than Plenty of Fish, and they tend to message you more and speak out more
Yeah.
to you. But the thing about Meet a Mate is you have the opportunity to click on it and answer what they say to you, or just leave it sitting there. They're like message requests. You don't have to click on them, and you don't have to talk to them, and they won't never know. So there, I've met a couple of guys, and I just say a couple, that have became really good friends of mine.
I mean, cool.
And it's just friends though. It's at the friend level. That's it.
I've got all 4 quarter pieces.
Oh, do you?
Like quarter.
Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, when I say y'all be careful on these dating sites, and I have a multitude of them. I've got, like I said, Plenty of Fish and Meet a Mate. I don't mind naming. I've got several of them that are in the kink community, and those you pretty know what to expect from those, because I belong to the community, so I already know what to expect from that, what I'm going to get out of it. But there are other dating apps like Her, which is for females mainly. Tammy. What's the other one? Tag. Badazoo. Bad something. Those dating apps, though, seriously, people, if you're listening, please be careful. Please be careful. Please make sure you talk to the person. Please make sure to get them to send you a recent picture in real time of them, maybe thumbs up in with the date and time on a piece of paper. Make sure you know who you're talking to, because there are a lot of people, just like they do on Facebook, that steal other people's pictures and use them along with a fake name just to get your address, to hijack you, to kidnap you, to traffic you. Be very, very, very careful.
Yeah.
And if they ask you, hey, let's talk off of here more private. Do you have Signal? Do you have Google Chat? Do you have WhatsApp? If they ask any of those questions, no. Automatic block.
Mm-hmm.
That is an automatic block. That is a scam. That is bullshit.
Speaking of that, I got a friend of mine. She's like a mom to me. She has fell for a doozy. She's still talking to the guy. He's talked her out of money. He's got her kicked out of her multiple banks because the checks that he sent her were falsified checks. She's bought him those. If anybody asks you, I'm going to tell you this now. Anybody out there asks you to get them a Steam card or any type of Steam card from one of these apps, do not do it.
No. If they ask you for your PayPal or your Cash App, do not do it.
No.
If they ask you for any type of password, account number, or routing number, do not do it. Any
And
type of bank info, do not do it.
if they send you a check, do not print it. Do not
No.
get it printed out. Do not
Nope.
any of that. She fell for it. She had so much. She's in so much debt. It's not even funny because of him.
I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
So
That
yeah, don't fall for anything. Like she said, get a picture, date and time. Have them hold it up. Have a piece of paper. Stuff like that. If they say their phone won't take a picture or it's broke, dump it. Drop it.
dump it. Yeah, let it go. Absolutely.
If you give you a number, you call it, nobody answers, drop it.
Absolutely.
And if
I
they
can
say
remember.
if
Go ahead.
if you call a number and they say, I'm sorry I didn't get your phone call, and all they want to do is text you, check out that phone number they sent you on Google the number, because usually that number is a scam number.
Yeah.
So
I
realize when you do these apps.
I had a guy message me, and he was not that far away from me, and we talked for just a little bit, not very much at all. And Kipper, and he asked me to meet up, and I something in my gut was giving me, a red flag. And I was like, where, when, why? And he couldn't really never answer me. He just kept saying, let's meet up, let's meet up, let's meet up. Something told me to ask him his real name, so I did, and he gave it to me. Like a dummy, I Googled it and found out he was a pedophile. So I immediately reported him to the app and blocked him from the app. And before I did that, though, I wrote him a message and I said, do you really think that people are not going to Google who you are and find out that you're a pedophile? I said, I have alerted every app that I am on about you. And in case you come up with an alias, I listed every alias I could think of that you would come up with. And sent your picture. I said, so, I good luck with that, but you need nobody.
Yeah.
Opinion. There's a lot of things they need, but there's a lot of things they would need, but that, a person ain't one of them. Let me just
jail time. Castration comes to mind.
That comes to my mind as well. That comes to my mind.
A lot of things. But on to our next subject, before we creep these people out too much.
Yes.
You want to start on this one?
Ghosts and hauntings. I once lived in an apartment with my ex and my children, and they were babies. My children were babies at the time. And above us, it used to be an old hospital. And the room upstairs above us was the original nursery for the building. And below us, in the basement underground, was the original morgue. And you could literally, at nighttime, hear babies screaming.
Yeesh.
From the room upstairs. And the room, it was just the room. It had yet to be turned into an apartment. So literally it was just open and you could just walk in and look around. It still had original equipment in there. from when it was originally the nursery, from
Oh
like the
wow.
early 1900s. And I remember laying there at night thinking my baby was crying. It was my oldest child. And I can remember sitting there thinking, my baby's crying, my baby's crying. I would get up and check on him, and he would be sound asleep. And I'd go lay back down, fall back asleep. And I'd hear baby crying again. And I'd get up, check on him. He'd be sound asleep. Until that kept on for, a good little while. And then my ex had the audacity to ask the landlord about it. And that's when she explained to us that used to be the nursery above us. And it's haunted. Because at the time that the hospital was there, before it was ever converted into an apartment building, that's when a lot of like babies died from like scarlet fever, influenza, things like
Mhm.
that. And so I don't know why there were souls or spirits or so-called recordings replaying of these babies crying, but literally you could hear newborn babies crying over and over every single night.
That's gotta be rough. How long did
Let's
you stay
see,
in that apartment?
about shit, 4 to 6 months maybe. And then we
That has to
moved
put a
out,
toll on your
and
psyche.
we moved out. We moved out for many years, and then we ended up moving back to the town, and then we ended up finding that was the only place we could find to rent again, except for we got a different apartment. And the apartment we got the second time was literally across the hall from the original apartment we had had.
Oh wow.
And it had a huge bay window in the front. It used to be the hospital office, and it had a huge bay window in the front that it turned into the living room. Then there was a middle room that was the kitchen, then a bedroom, then the bathroom and laundry room. Well, when we stayed in that, if you will go back to, I don't know if it's on the Vault of Nightmares new channel, but I know it's on his older channel, the story of Hunt Boy. That happened in that apartment. That was actually my son seeing this little boy who we thought was his imaginary friend, but actually wasn't. It was a spirit that had passed. I do believe his father had went insane, and his father had killed him. And you
Wow.
can go, like I said, listen. The story's still up. Like I said, check out. I don't know if it's on the new Vault of Nightmares channel, but I know it's on his old one. The original Vault of Nightmares channel, and it's called Hunt Boy, I do believe, and that is my son's story. When we first done the story, we of course didn't name that it was our son's story because we wanted to, keep him private and protected at the time. We didn't want too many people asking him, this little child, about his encounter. But
Yeah.
I can honestly say that was one encounter to where me and another girl that lived in another apartment upstairs she was doing laundry in our apartment, and we had the basket between us, and I was standing in front of the washer. No, I was standing in front of the dryer. She was standing in front of the washer, I think. We were pulling out clothes and swapping them and putting them in the basket. And at the corner of my eye, I seen a little boy in a hunting outfit. And I thought it was my son. Same size, looked just like him, same outfit, same everything. Well, the little boy said something to us, walked behind me, walked across the room, and through a window that was closed. And not
Wow.
only did I see it, she seen it too. And at first I thought my son had just ran through this glass window, and he was laying out on the ground hurt. So we both haul assed across the huge bathroom, that half laundry room, half bathroom, over to the window, and the window is perfectly shut and fine. No glass shattered, no glass broken, nothing. So we took off running up to the front of the apartment where the big bay windows were that were turned into a living room. And there's my son sitting on the couch watching Scooby Doo.
Wow.
And he told me, he said, Mom, my friend told me to tell you thank you. And it was his time to go and buy. And my son was 4 because I was pregnant with my youngest child at the time. So my oldest son was 4 when this happened.
That's creepy.
Oh yeah. That has to be one of the, besides a couple of other stories that involve family members, that has to be one of the strangest encounters that I've seen, not only because I've seen it, but because somebody else got to witness it with me and they got to see the exact same thing I seen.
Well, I'm going to tell you something that my girlfriend told me. Now, we both know that I have everybody by now knows I have a critter.
Yeah.
What you call it, critter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I only went over her apartment on Wednesdays. And I was in bed and I got a phone call the next day, about Thursday afternoon. Got a phone call from her and said, could you describe your creature for me? I said, why? Just please. I said, okay. He's about, want to say about 2 foot tall. Little bitty feet. Has kind of ears like a rabbit, but they're not ears. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And he has knuckles that he drags on the ground. And she said, that's exactly what I saw last night at the foot of my bed.
Oh, wow.
Middle of the night. Pitch black. So, yeah. That's just something she called me that day. That night, not that night after, Thursday.
Yeah.
Called me and I described what he looks like. And she said I described what she saw to a T. Now, Penny's kids have seen him multiple times. He hangs around their house.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in more of a rabbit shape. But hops around their place in the form of a rabbit. Black bunny rabbit. But yes, it's just something that freaked her out. Because he crawled right under her bed and stared at her for about half an hour. Scared the shit out of her.
I bet.
But no, that's nothing. I've seen inside her closet. There is some type of you open her closet
and
it's full of clothes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But when you open it, even during the summer, it is like an ice box.
Yeah.
And they don't run their air conditioner very often. And her closet remains closed. I opened it one time because I heard something moving in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in there and I thought, okay, she went to the bathroom in her room. I went in there and I thought, okay, she's probably in her closet and she can't get out. So I opened that door. There was this dog-like figure sitting there with red glowing eyes. It kind of looked like a Doberman Pinscher.
Yeah.
His eyes were glowing red. It was sat there staring at me.
Oh, wow.
And as I looked at it, I never did tell anybody. This is the first people that I've told this. As I looked at it, you could start to see something that looked like dots popping up behind it. And as just soon as I was about to go into it for no damn reason, she shut the door and said, "Don't ever open that door again."
Huh.
And I asked her what the hell it was, and she said, "That dog guards a portal."
Okay.
I said, "What's it to?" She said she don't know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've never told anybody that, but Penny doesn't know that story.
Hey, Mark, how are you? Good to see you too. Um, and she's how old?
My ex,
Yeah.
at the time I was dating her, she was in her early 30s,
And
33, I think.
she had seen this creature for how long?
She's known this creature is in her closet since she moved there with her parents.
Was it
And
already there, or was it something that
it
attached
was
itself to
already been
her?
it was already there.
Okay.
It was like when she moved there in that apartment, it was already there.
Okay.
And the feeling was that of a devil dog, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's
hellhound
what I
maybe?
got from it.
Yeah. Shit.
That's the feeling, because like I said, I heard like nails, dog nails,
Yeah.
when I was going up to it, and I thought it was she, because she had a tendency of doing this on her keyboard, or just
Yeah.
was pissed to aggravate me. She had nails and she would do that. So I thought she was doing that to get my attention in the closet, saying she was in the closet.
Oh.
It wasn't. It was that dog trying to get out.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if y'all can see my shirt, but it says hell was boring.
mine's kind of risque, so I'm not going to show it on stream.
Well, the way I see it, dying twice on a table and coming back, and it was boring. I always said I was going to hell in a handbasket, so it was boring to me.
Well,
So,
the devil's got
had
a
to have the shirt.
restraining order against me.
Had to have the shirt to, bought the t-shirt. Been there, done that.
But like I said, it was just something that was a bit freaky, but more along the line of paranormal. I can't
Yeah.
tell the story of me and what I saw at that rehab center because I'm under contract with a person who will name nameless.
Yeah.
So I can't talk about that.
When I was in the rehabilitation center after my surgeries, I went through 3 or 4 hospitals. I can't remember exactly if it was 3 or 4. And then I think it was 3 hospitals, and then, no, hold on. No. Let me take that back. The one at the ER, the first surgery, the second surgery. Okay, it was 4 hospitals and a rehabilitation center. The rehabilitation center was a nursing home / rehabilitation center for people like me, or for people that are long term. It was a big center, big center. And there was a lady there that worked with me. She was actually a speech therapist, because after I was out of my surgery and coming down off the meds and stuff, something happened to where my brain was not connecting with my mouth properly.
Yeah.
And I could form the sentences in my head, but when I would go to say them, it would come out backwards, Kipper, backwards.
That's called dyslexia.
It just would come out wrong. And there would be times where I would know the word that I would want to say, but I couldn't get it out of my mouth. And so I had not only physical therapists, I had several of them. but I had a speech therapist as well. Well, me and the speech therapist got to talking and we got really, really close. And she is a very big Bigfoot believer, Sasquatch believer, whatever. She had her own encounter with her husband. I think I've talked about it before on my channel here. But she told me literally that there was a room that every person that was ever placed in that room in the center died. If you got put in that room, you died. And they honestly believe it was so haunted. They tried to have it exorcised, didn't work. They had several people come in, it didn't work. They even had me try. Needless to say, failure, because the patient that went in after me into the room passed away.
Oh, wow.
So they ended up closing that room off and locking it for good, never to be used again. Because
That's
they believe something happened with the initial patient that was ever in that room, that something was attached to the patient and it stayed in the room.
that's just brings something up here. The building where I live at, of course, is full of elderly people. Well, if you go to certain room apartments in this building,
Mm-hmm.
because of how long it's been here since the 70s, you'll get a weird chill,
Yeah.
and the air conditioner will not be on.
Oh, wow.
And you'll go to certain, like I said, certain rooms, you'll get a weird chill, you'll get a weird vibe. We got a room, it's called it's like a sunroom, basically. It's got a lot of windows in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, no matter what day of the year it is, it stays cold constantly.
Oh, wow. Paula says when she was about 16, she was married. They moved into a duplex. An apparition appeared before her. It had a goat lower body of a man, and a man's upper body with a goat head and horns. I've never been so scared. I will be 69 in July, and that still haunts my memory.
Sounds like
At
she
the,
met up with an old manifestation of the devil.
well, the thing is about the devil, people confuse Baphomet, the devil, and Satan all as the same persona, and it's not. If you would do your research, you will understand that it's not the same. They are not the same. I know a lot of people want to argue that it is, but Baphomet is not. However, my first thought was, to be honest with you, was Pan.
AKA the Birdman, is one of the most
I don't know why. That was just the first thing that came to my mind when I
Well,
read that was
I
Pan.
mean, the thing is that what people don't understand is that the devil himself was an angel. His name was Lucifer.
Yes, and he got kicked out of heaven for not obeying God's orders to destroy humankind.
Well, and that all depends on your perspective.
Yeah, it all depends on what you study. But however, like I said, they're all not the Lucifer, Baphomet, the devil, and Satan are all not the same persona. But people want to lump them in together as one. They are not. It just depends on what religion, what aspect, what occult philosophy you're looking at it from. It just depends on your own perspective and interpretation of what you think and you believe is correct.
No,
Because I read, and I'm not knocking anybody. I welcome Christians. My nephews are Christian. I welcome Christians, pagans, atheists, Satanists, you name it, to my channel. All is welcome here. If you are gay, straight, bisexual, part of the alphabet, transgendered, I don't care. None of that shit bothers me. Be you, boo. Do you. But I believe everything is open for interpretation. That's what makes us human. That's why we have free will, because we're able to be open to interpretation. And if a lot of people want to strictly follow the Bible, and I understand that. I've read the Bible front to back numerous times. However, my interpretation of what's being said to me may not be the same as yours or somebody else's. Just like one preacher may preach one thing and about one topic, and another preacher about the same topic may preach something totally different.
Well,
His flock.
get back
It just depends.
on to Lucifer. He was God's right-hand man. Right-hand angel. One of the first angels created.
Mm-hmm.
They said his name meant the light.
Yes, light, the bearer of light or the bringer of light. It depends on what translation you go by.
He was very beautiful. So what makes you think that when he gets cast out of hell, cast out of heaven into earth, onto earth, is he going to change the way he looks? God did not curse him. The only person that can change Lucifer the way he looks is Lucifer himself. So he can appear to you any way he wishes. He has, the thing is that what people don't understand is that nowhere in the Bible does it describe Lucifer as half goat or with hooves. Nowhere in the Bible that I have read. And I've read the Bible front to back. I even read some of the books that were taken from the Bible.
Yeah.
None of them say anything other than he was the angel that held the light, if you want to say it that way. Other than that, that means he looks like a very handsome man. If anything, he would be, I don't know, a Brad Pitt or a Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah,
Very
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
He would
He would
not
be
look
he would
like
be the Fabio of the earth.
exactly, because he wants to bring you in to his fold.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to do that by appearing to you as the scariest motherfucker on earth. He will appear to you as anything he wants you to see him as, to bring you in. But he will not be there unless he wants to scare the shit out of you, appears to you something that ugly.
I just think though, and I can understand Paula's perspective. You see an apparition that has, part goat, part man body and goat's head. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't blame her being like, what the fuck?
No, I don't either.
I mean,
I've seen some strange shit in my life.
me too.
I've never seen anything like that.
Me too. I have seen and I've done some strange stuff. Some not so nice stuff, some not so kind stuff, some dark stuff, some light stuff. I've done a little bit of everything. However, I digress. There's some things though that still can take you off guard no matter how much experience you have in the occult. It can still make you step back and go, whoa, what the hell is going on?
Have you seen... No, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a movie, a TV series, short-run TV series. Loved the heck out of it. It was a detective. He was killed.
Mm-hmm.
And he was put on contract by the devil to capture demons that escaped hell.
Mm-hmm.
And he would appear every so often. The devil would appear as a person. Man wasn't nothing special about him. That, in my opinion, is how the devil would look to us. Someone that's not very special, but someone that can manipulate you by his voice, by the way he speaks. Because the devil's always in your ear, is what they say. That's my opinion on how the devil would look. He would appear as a non-threatening person.
Yeah.
Because like I said, he wants you to do what he wants you to do. So, unless he wants you dead, of course he can't kill you because God would end him.
Yeah.
He'd have someone do it for him. He wouldn't appear there very threatening.
Yeah.
Otherwise. But he, being who he is, a fallen angel, can appear to you as male, as female, as whatever he wishes to appear there as, because of his power, his abilities. Being God's right-hand man, you can appear as anything you want. But that's just me.
Paula says it wasn't a nice spirit. We moved the next day, but it did move stuff. I think it fed off my fear.
Yeah, most definitely.
Could have been very, very much so. Very, very much so. Could have fed off your fear. Just like poltergeist, they feed off. They're created by chaos, depression, anxiety, and mass hysteria. To be honest with you, they are created and then tend to feed off that same energy.
Yeah.
And the more, let's say you've got a couple in the house fighting, that can create a poltergeist. And the more they fight, the more it feeds that poltergeist to be bigger and be stronger in its realm, to be able to act out accordingly and mess with your stuff, mess with your head, drain your energy, make you sick. So I do believe there are some things, some attachments, some entities that can do the same thing. That really can do the same thing.
There are people that can do the same thing.
Yeah.
That can drain your energy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I believe it or not, my friend that I call my sister,
mm-hmm.
She has a male that she has relations with, I would say.
Yeah.
That has no testosterone. He has to have injections.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes into a room, he will just literally drain the room. My girlfriend was sitting there. Now, it doesn't affect me because of what I have connected to me.
Yeah.
He literally drained my girlfriend just by talking so slowly, not boring. She literally,
in a monotone type of voice,
drained her completely.
Yeah.
I'm immune to that shit.
Yeah. Me being an empath, well, let me take that back. I was an empath. I'm not saying that I'm not now. I'm just saying it doesn't bother me now.
Yeah.
People's energies. Now I can tell the difference if somebody is close, nearby, if their energy is off, if there's evil intent. I can tell that in a heartbeat. However, I have learned and honed skills to where I do not let it affect me anymore. It's like I have a ward and a shield up to where it does not affect me anymore.
Yeah, you can develop stuff like that easily.
Oh, absolutely. But it does take practice. And that's the one thing that's the one thing a lot of people don't understand is It's a craft. It's a practice that you have to put into place every single day, or it's not going to work. You can't just automatically assume, hey, I've got a shield around me, and boom, you're going to have a shield around you. You've got to practice honing in that energy skill.
Raspberry, head to the main block D.
To, to get to that point to where you can do that. So,
Oh, sorry.
no, you're fine. I had a phone call. To the person that just called me, if you are listening right now, I can get Grim to send you a link, or drop it in chat, because I can't do it from my phone. I don't think I can anyway. I may can. But if you're listening and you want to come on the show, just type in chat yes or no, and we'll go from there. If you're not listening and you hear this later, sorry I ignored your call. I'm kind of live. Sorry. My bad.
Huh.
I will call you back. But, so in your building, do you have a lot of apparitional stories from because I know the building you're talking about that you live in.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I first moved here, there was, I'm wanting to say, a shadow person of a little girl. Now, if she was from the graveyard or if she was someone connected to someone here, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But every so often, she would open a portal. She had that ability.
Yeah.
And my critter talks to her often.
Yeah.
And she's not from this realm of existence.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think she might have been connected to somebody who lived before, but every once in a while, I personally and a few other people that are connected to that realm.
Hey, Barry. Barry, would you like a link to come on panel or no? You're more than welcome to. That's who called me, by the way. Yeah, I wasn't ignoring your call. I was just live, Barry. Sorry. But if you want a link to the panel, you're more than welcome to hop on.
They would feel it whenever she opened it.
Yeah.
And then she would close it. You would get this. It's like, say someone ran their fingers down your spine and just tapped on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you would feel. But not everybody would feel it. Only the ones that were close to passing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she hasn't done that in a while. But we do have a residential ghost that will, when I first lived here, when I first moved here, it would push the buttons on the elevator and make the elevator stop on certain floors.
Yeah.
And get off. Then the doors are closed. It'd go to another floor. Nobody's pushing the buttons. It'd be about 12 o'clock at night. Button would go to a floor, stop, go to another floor, stop.
Oh, wow.
And people, it don't happen no more, but it used to.
Mm-hmm.
Now it mainly stays stagnant on the second floor, which I'm on. But it used to do that all the time.
Hey, Edward. God bless you too.
But there are some weird stuff that happens. I mean, when I first moved into my apartment, I have this well, when I slept with my girlfriend for the first time, my ex,
Mhm.
we were in my bed. My bed faces my doorway to my bathroom because I live in a loft apartment. There's only two doors, bathroom and the exit. And I have this little green ball that you punch for boxing and whatnot.
Mhm.
It takes a lot to make this thing move. You can't shake the floor and it move. You gotta, because it's got like it's weighted bottom, so it's
Yeah.
not gonna do that. And I got it so tight to where you have to literally touch it physically. Wind's
Yeah.
not gonna do it. Air's not gonna do it for it to even move. So we're laying in bed, and I'm seeing this green ball from here to here and back, like
Oh
that.
wow.
Just
Hmm.
that. It's like it's not there because it don't even show it being pulled back. It's all
Mhm.
pitch black
Yeah.
and then being released. It's pulled, don't see it, released. And I do believe that was my critter doing it
Mhm.
because there was nothing but shadow around it. Well, I've told you that it only comes out in the shadows
Yeah.
and at night. So that's what I believe. But yeah, that's one of the weirdest things happened to my apartment. It just disappeared, swung back, disappeared, swung back. My girlfriend saw it too. She was a bit freaked out about it too. But imagine, how am I going to do it? Okay, here's the ball, right?
Mhm.
That's how it went. Then it came back out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, pitch black, nothing but it.
Hmm.
And it was just weird. It's unexplainable, other than what I told you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
absolutely crazy.
some of the stuff in this building, like it's just a bit. You can feel it's a bit off because on each floor it's all designed the same way.
Yeah.
The apartment below me is designed the same way as this one is. It may have a bedroom,
They're cookie cutter type apartments.
almost,
Yeah.
almost. And the thing is that the entire apartment, you got a concrete cement floor underneath you on each floor,
Mhm.
and then you got your roof. The thing is that on each floor there's a place to do your laundry. Now, I've done my laundry at night before.
Mhm.
Didn't want to, but I had to.
Yeah.
And I got my earbuds in. I got no at the time I had my laptop. I had it playing my music, and I heard a bang behind me. Now, if anybody knows about these washers and stuff like that, unless those things are moved forward, they do not move.
Yeah.
You have to close them physically. Something had shut the washer right behind me.
Oh wow.
Thing is, nobody was in it but me.
Yeah.
I didn't hear nobody walk behind me and do it. Nothing. Completely just me. And it does happen that there are some strange stuff that does happen in this apartment that in other people's apartments.
Mhm.
Like there's one apartment that I know of doesn't get cold
Yeah.
even during the winter. Even with the air conditioner on, it stays at 70, 68, or 69 degrees.
Kipper, what does this room temp stay at all year round that we were talking about yesterday? About
65.
Yeah, in here in this room it stays about 65, like winter, summer, doesn't matter. But remember I told you there's a little girl ghost spirit here as well.
Yeah.
But this room now, my sister's room is the hottest room in the whole house. But her room faces the east, and my my middle nephew's room faces the west, and his is one of the coldest. But this room stays literally a solid temperature year round.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's very like right now, everybody else has got heaters going, it's chilly, and me and him are sitting here in like shorts. I wear shorts all the time now because, frankly, no legs. I don't need pants,
Yeah,
right?
there's no reason to wear anything else.
So I wear shorts. Right now, I'm in a pair of leather shorts, to be honest with you, and just a big, oversized, 4 sizes too big, baggy t-shirt, and no heater on. It's pouring rain, and I'm perfectly comfortable.
Well, the same here. Unless I turn my air conditioner on, it stays about 72 degrees. The reason why I say this about this room is that it's on the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's got a sliding glass door. It's my friend of mine's apartment.
Mhm.
And it is open. It's out the back side of the apartment. It's open to the air and everything. But it stays at 69 even if she turns the heater on.
Yeah.
Because when she turns it off, the temperature won't go above 69.
Huh.
Turns the air on, it drops to maybe 68, shuts off.
Yeah.
Then it goes back to 69. So like I said, there's weird stuff that happens in this building. Places that you think would be cold are actually really warm. Places that you think are supposed to be warm are actually really cold.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just gets at that point to where you're wondering about this place, the hell is going on with this place? You know?
Well, before we change topics, you guys, we've been on for an hour and 30 minutes. So here's your moment, your chance to take a break. Go get you something to drink. Go use the restroom. Get you a snack before we move on to the next topic. I'm going to do a little plug. You see my Cash App, my PayPal, and my email all running in the banner right below the screen. If you care to help me out, I'm a double amputee. I don't have much income coming in. Most of you know my story and you want to help. That's the way to help. You can also go to my community tab. There is a Amazon wish list for essentials over there of things that I need that I constantly run out of and I'm having to replenish. There is a list, just a random on down the community tab. There's a random Amazon wish list of just little odd and witchy things and stuff like that I'd like to do and little crafts I'd like to do. There's also a link to my GoFundMe that I have, as well if you'd like to donate to it. But portions of that do come out before I receive the income that you give. So just know that if you want to send something directly to me, you have to use either PayPal or Cash App. But you can use the GoFundMe if that makes you feel safer. It takes a portion of what you send out of it before it comes to me. This gentleman right here, who's you see on the screen, name is Bull. If you do not know him, he has a channel, Grim Soul Taker. He does a lot of cryptid stuff. He does a lot of paranormal stuff, supernatural stuff on his channel. He does. You don't do live streams anymore, though. Am I correct?
No, I stopped doing live streams because it just got a little bit too tasking, and I don't
Okay.
really have a good planned time for any of them, so I don't do live streams anymore now.
But you do still do your videos, correct?
Oh yeah, they're more story based. No, they're more
Okay.
story based.
So
It's
he
all
does
off the top of
have
my head.
videos over there, but like I said, we're at the hour and 30-minute mark. So take a few minutes, take 5 minutes, go get you a drink. We're just gonna sit here and bullshit. Go get you a drink, get you a snack, use the restroom, grab your smokes, your chewing tobacco, your whatever a blanket, a pillow, get cozy, put your earbuds in, whatever you need to do. Now's the time to go run and do it before we move on to the next topic. And I think I'm gonna let Grim pick the next topic.
No, I can pick next topic.
Give it just a
That's
minute
quick.
because hold on, Grim. Give it just a minute because it's kind of staticky right this second again.
Okay.
So just bear with it. I think it's one of our nets doing it for some reason. But Barry, you did not bother me calling in. It's okay. You didn't know I was live. I will return your call when I end the live stream. If you're still up, I will call you back. No big deal. And I understand that you can't join at the moment. That's fine and dandy. Just let me know a time that you can and a day that you can, and we'll have you on. And we'll title it something Bigfoot, something Sasquatch, because I know that is your forte. If there's anybody I know that knows everything and anything about Bigfoot and Sasquatch, it's going to be Barry Browning.
And writing songs about New Jersey and its history. He even wrote a book, The Legendary.
So, okay, Grim. I think the static has stopped.
Okay, good. I'm gonna pick one of my most favorite topics.
Okay.
Now, y'all probably know me when I did do a lot of stuff about cryptids. I don't do a lot of it now. But the one that I did the most research into was Man-Bat.
I remember
Lakaya
that.
knows this.
Mm-hmm.
Probably half the people in the stream. If you follow me as well, then you probably know this. Well, Man-Bat is completely different than most cryptids. For one reason is that the way some of the people that I've read described it, it was more like a gargoyle.
Okay.
They described it with having horns. The only reason they said it was a bat was that its wings were like a bat.
Okay. I can get that.
And one of them, the Philippines, like I said, it's all over. It was even spotted in France.
Mm-hmm.
One of them in the Philippines, it was on the police. It was on a police station, top police station. If I remember correctly, it was up there eating a cat.
Okay.
And they described it as grayish, lizard-like skin, as in like it had spots on it. If you know what I'm talking about.
Scales, maybe.
Scale looking, and it
Yeah.
had horns, and it had claws, but its skin was grayish.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, they shot at it. It did nothing to it. The bullets did nothing to it. It flew off. It had claws, front claws on its feet, and its wings were like a bat wings. And it had horns. Now, most people will say that doesn't sound like a man bat. Of course not. Doesn't sound like a man bat. Like I said before, the only reason they called it man bat was because it had wings like a bat.
Yeah.
And the only thing when I was doing my research that stayed the same on all of them was one of them, this man and this kid and his son were walking through a park on their way home. They saw this thing hanging upright, and it had hair, kind of like a mane, around its neck, and it had bat-like eyes, but its mouth was more of lizard-like, and it had bat-like wings, but they also said it had claws.
Yeah.
That was the only thing different from the one that I just told you about. Everything else was
Do you
similar.
think that maybe people are getting man bat and Mothman mixed up? Maybe.
No.
Okay.
The reason I say that is that Mothman was described more of an owl-like creature.
Mhm.
And if you look at it, it's a in a way, yes, it is similar. But
Yeah.
Mothman, they called him Mothman because his wings were like a moth.
Okay.
That's why they called him Mothman. And he had the antennas. If you look at the artwork, even in the city that the bridge was destroyed in, they have a statue of what he looked like.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. Mhm.
The thing is that most of these sightings were in Chicago. There was another sighting. This family, man and his two men and their grandmother, saw man bat walking down the street, kind of hunched over.
Yeah.
And their mother started saying a prayer in Spanish as they walked past it. They said they got such an evil, malice intent from this creature that these guys started. The boys started praying as well.
Yeah.
They said. Then there was another one. This man was walking. It was across the street, and it was looking. He saw it as well. It was looking for someone because it was sniffing the air. It was looking around. Paid no attention to him. Now this was at night. It paid no attention to him and whatever, because he was walking on the other side of the street. He said he felt bad for whoever or whatever it was looking for, because it just turned when he walked past it. The feeling he got was like he had something pulling at his stomach.
Yeah.
And squeezing it. It made him sick.
Yeah.
And he said he felt bad for whoever that thing was after, because that thing felt so evil.
I've had a person email me before and ask me, and I don't have the answer, to be honest with you. I don't know. But they've asked me two things. One, do I think that these cryptid, mysterious type of beings and entities, do I think they've been manifested by humans? And the second thing they asked me was, or do I think they are demonic beings on Earth? And to be honest, I don't have an answer to either one of those
Well,
because I don't know.
I'm going to tell you this from coming from experience of what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in this world that we know of is inherently evil or inherently good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we think of it as Satan as evil. Yes. You got to think though, he was once good. But
Yeah.
and still, like I said, he wasn't inherently evil or inherently good. He existed. Before us, he existed.
Barry said the answer could be no to both. I'm not sure. I'm not either. I literally have no idea.
And my answer to you is the only answer I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Yes and no. Because if you think about it, man has manifested things that did not exist.
Oh, absolutely. Man can summon things. They can manifest things. They can manifest a poltergeist. They can manifest a tulpa, and so forth, and so on. Hell, kids create imaginary friends all the time. And who's to
Exactly.
say those imaginary friends aren't manifestations, not just up here, but have been manifested into reality? It's
Exactly.
just they're the only ones that can see them. Because technically, children, as people claim, they're innocent. Yes, they say everybody's born with sin, but to me, children are the innocents.
Well, they're born from sin.
Yes.
From sin. Because anything that comes out of man.
All I'm going to say is I sinned a lot in my lifetime. That's all I'm going to say. I am a
anything that
sinner.
comes from man or out of man is sin.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what it is,
Yeah.
like I said, my answer is yes and no. For
Yeah.
that very reason.
I just, when I got that email, and sometimes I get emails like that I literally just have to tell them, I don't have the answer to it. I'm not the most divine being. I didn't create humankind. I didn't create all the animals and reptiles and etc. I didn't create the cryptids. I have no idea. I can speculate on my own opinions and do what I practice and know what I've studied and researched, but that doesn't make it necessarily true because it was written by man. And we all know man is faltered.
Yes. The only person besides the good Lord above, in my opinion, that could tell her the answer was the first man. And he's been dead a long time. Because you remember it says in the Bible, Adam was to name all the creatures of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
That means all of them.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we personally will never know the answer.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, go ahead.
It's not that I don't think we will never know the answer. I just think now is not the time to know the answer.
That could be also true. But like I said, it's yes and no. Because man has created a lot in this world. Scientifically, as well as you know, magically, or being summoned.
I think Grim's hair is longer than yours, Kipper. Grim, how long's your hair? His is longer, but yours is curlier.
Mine's been growing for 2 years though. I haven't cut my
Yeah,
hair.
he has his comes down to like right here on him, but his curls, so it's thicker, so it kind of poofs up, I guess, more. But if his was straightened out, it would probably be the same length. But I was just looking at that.
Possibly.
Kipper walked over here by me, and I was like, the LEDs, yeah, they don't heat up.
I haven't cut my hair in 2 years. So 2 to 3. I would agree with you, Paula. Possibly both.
Yeah, I think his is only grown out for 5 or 6 months, and it's pretty damn long. Yeah.
6 months.
I would say no, Barry.
Do you think man can manifest something we could take a DNA sample of? Well, man can manifest a tulpa, and other people can see it, but I don't think you can get a DNA sample from it. Man can manifest a poltergeist, but can't get a sample there either. So I don't know. I think it just depends on what it is, and if people have the thought process behind it to actually take a sample. I know, for example, let's just say a demon is summoned, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Most people, even though they consider demons an entity, a lot of people consider demons a flesh and blood creature because they can do harm, cause harm, attach cells. There's a lot of stuff. Some consider them spirits and just demonic beings, but some do consider them flesh and blood. It just depends on who you talk to, their belief system, and whatever. But let's say, for instance, they're flesh and blood. I don't think anybody has sat there when dealing with a demon, has sat there and thought, oh shit, let me get a DNA sample.
Would they even bleed though?
Exactly. I don't think it's crossed their mind. Because to be honest, it wouldn't cross my mind. Now, something like Dogman, Bigfoot, Man Bat, Mothman, Jersey Devil, Loch Ness Monster, Nessie, all that shit. Now, if you consider those creatures flesh and blood, and you look at as many sightings as there have been of them being flesh and blood, then I believe you could possibly get a sample from them. But I really don't know. There's some things though I think you can't. There's some things I think you possibly can. It's just nobody's thought about it. Because think about it, you're in the heat of the moment. It's kind of like when you're in the heat of the moment seeing something strange, your first thought is not to grab a picture.
Exactly.
It's just not.
Your first thought is to leave.
Exactly. It's fight or flight, basically. It's not to
DNA.
It's not to sit there and tell them, hold still a minute, let me take a picture.
Exactly.
So let me get a hair sample from you. Hold on a minute. So that's usually not a human being's first thought. And I do find that it irritates me sometimes where I hear people's stories, or I used to listen to people's stories. Let me put it that way. I don't really anymore. But I used to listen to people's stories, and people in chat, or they would email in and ask questions like, well, why didn't you get a sample? Why didn't you get a hair sample? Why didn't you get this? Why didn't you get that? And if y'all are wondering what I'm doing, I'm actually undressing. And I know that sounds weird, but I have cuffs and chains and leather straps and shit all over me. And it's 10 o'clock here, and I'm time for the shit to come off. I've worn it all day.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, I wear chains on my pants, my shorts. I have cuffs I wear, yada yada.
I'm
You
already in
see
my
me
night
take my
clothes.
harness off a while ago. You know, I'm getting comfortable. It's comfortable time. But I don't I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's people's first thought to, try to get a DNA sample of. So I really don't know. I know a good bit about tulpas. I know a good bit about poltergeist, and those two I do not think you can get a sample from.
No,
Period.
not blood. No.
I just do not think you can. Even
He-
even as a tulpa that's manifested, they say it takes on its own life, its own personality, and its own becomes its own being. I still believe that it is in, even if it can be seen, I still believe it exists on a different plane of existence or a different realm than what we do.
I'm gonna say this. Um, now,
Barry, I agree. I
if we
agree.
go into the thing realm of cryptids, now, from what I've told you
Hmm.
about man bat, I would be more inclined of running the opposite direction. I don't know about you, but I'm not gonna be thinking, oh, can I shoot this thing? If I do, will it kill me? No, I'm going the other way. Not out of
I
fear,
understand. I
but out
understand
of
having protection. I get that, especially in the woods, because you never know what you're going to run across. You can run across a deer that's in rut season, and them things are the most vicious things you can run across besides a wild boar.
yeah.
I mean, I can understand having protection. However, I don't think you have to be gung ho about it either.
Mm-mm.
There's a difference.
Yes, there is.
Have protection, stay protected, teach protection, but don't go in there like a freaking saloon shooter and want to shoot up the place with a six shooter. Just don't do that.
Mm-mm. No, getting
I
to
know
it.
a gentleman. I know a gentleman that goes into the woods. I'm not saying he goes unprotected, but he
Mhm.
doesn't carry firearms with him. And he's had many an encounter. He's had many sightings. He's had many things happen to him that, though he's never had to pull a firearm. He's never had a need for one. Like I said, I'm not saying he goes unprotected. I'm just saying he does not go with a firearm.
You don't need to be protected. You don't need a firearm.
Not necessarily. Now, me, am I a firearm user? Absolutely. Have I owned plenty? Absolutely. Do I know how to use them? Yes. But I'm also the type of girl where I uh I know how to back away and try to get out of a situation as well, and not and I because I'm damn sure not gonna sit there and let them fucking come to me. I heard you, Kipper. You're a smart ass now. Kipper's over there
Yeah.
being a smart ass. He's doing it again. Kipper, I'm telling everybody on YouTube you got a smart ass mouth and you're messing with me and you're gonna be grounded. You're gonna be grounded.
I'm going to tell you this because I
Oh,
live in a
go ahead, Grim.
government building. I cannot have firearms.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need firearms when I'm good with a knife. You've seen some of my knives,
Yes.
and some of them people would not want to be on the receiving end of,
No.
especially my favorite one.
True.
Put it this way,
Like I
ladies
said,
and gentlemen.
I'm not against farms, and I'm not against people that use farms. It's the ones that go in there gung ho of, hey, I'm going to get me a Bigfoot. I'm bringing out a Bigfoot body. Come on now. Let's be
You
real.
sound weird.
You're lucky if you even have an encounter with one, or unlucky, as I should say, if that you have an encounter with one, that you may hear one, get a glimpse of one, see one, smell one, whatever it may be. You're lucky if you even get that much of them because they're that elusive. But to sit here and think you're going to have this farm that's going to protect you when one comes charging at you, I'm not going to stand there and fucking fight to get my damn pistol out. My ass is taking off as I'm trying to get my pistol out.
Yeah, you might want to run fast too. Because
Dude, I'm rolling.
what
I'm
I
on 2 wheels. I'm on roll. I ain't running nowhere.
Well, there is a saying: you ain't gotta be fast. You gotta just be faster than the person behind you.
There you go. Look, my nephew Kipper, he keeps saying that he's gonna put a motor on my shit and crank me up and put me some damn 4x4 shit on there and some mud grips, and he said he's gonna have me all decked out. He's gonna pimp my wheels. I told him go for it. Hell, what's it gonna hurt? Shit.
Pimp your
I'll
ride.
I'll ride that sucker down the highway. I ain't scared. Did I make a fool of every time I go to the Mexican restaurant, like I told you I was at earlier today? I crack my mama up every time because I'll get in there and I'll pop a wheelie and go vroom, vroom, vroom in front of everybody. And everybody's looking at me like, what the hell is that bitch doing? I just do it for fun because I get tired of them staring at me. Instead of asking me my story or what happened, they're looking
They
at me
just look
like,
at you.
oh my, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, look at her. And I'm like, get over yourselves. Shit. If I'm happy, be happy for me. Hell.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that whole, I feel sorry for her. Bless her heart. Miss me with that shit. Really.
Yeah.
Miss me with it. I'm more happier now than I ever been my entire life. And if it took me losing these legs to be this happy, so be it.
Well,
That's the way I
it's
see it.
funny is that speaking of looks, I mean, I'll go. I'm a big fan of leather jackets and such like that.
Yeah, you showed me.
I got a black one in my closet,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll go into say this happened to me about a year ago. Last year, I'm at Walmart and I'm in my leather jacket, it's a biker jacket, of course. I'm checking out, and the lady's staring at me. Like I said, I'm in a black leather jacket. It's wintertime. Lady's staring at me and asked me, got close to me. The lady that was checking me out asked me, "Sir, are you a biker?"
Are you a biker?
Yeah. I looked at her. I'm like,
Mm.
no. And there was a customer behind me. I turned around and looked at them. They slowly backed up
Yeah.
and started
Well, hell,
staring at
people think I'm a devil worshiper. I'm this, I'm that. Like I put on a post like I put on my Facebook, I think you've seen it, where I said, if people only knew me, the real me,
me. Yeah.
they have no clue.
I have a tendency of scaring the shit out of people just by looking at them. I kid you not. I was at church. Now this is church,
Mm-hmm.
and me and my girlfriend. I have anxiety around a lot of people, so I can't be
Yeah,
around a lot.
social anxiety. I get it.
And we're sitting way in the back of the church. They got TVs all over this church. Pretty big church. nice people and everything. Some of them are. Now, no one comes on this end of the church. Half the time, the lights are off because they have motion sensor lights. And half the time, that area, those lights are off. No one comes down that area.
Mm-hmm.
We go down there, and people start migrating towards us for no reason. So this one weekend, one Wednesday, I'm sitting there, me and her sitting there, and church had just got out, no Wednesday service, and there's this teenager. He's about to scare his mom and dad. Now, mind you, I'm a scary person.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes. I looked at this kid just to fuck with him. I scared his ass so bad. He scared his damn self as the people walked around the corner. And then I made this one woman, elderly woman, I made her confuse her damn self.
Oh, wow.
She's asking her husband, "Who's that? Why are they looking at me?" And he's just looking at her like, and she almost walked into her husband. And then I made this old man so scared. The old man literally walked into a wall. And all I did was stare at him. He turned, he looked at me, turned around, whoop, and just walked off. So yes, I can scare people just by looking at them a certain way. It's hilarious.
I'm going to mute myself for just a minute. I need to talk to Kipper for just a second. Keep talking to the audience. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, anyways, like I said, people, I can scare the piss out of some people. I did it plenty of times in high school. There was this one time in high school that was it was hilarious. Is that I was walking down the hallway. I had my fist balled up, and I always did this just to scare some people, whoever I could scare. So I'm walking down the hallway. I looked at this one boy because my locker was in front of my locker, and he looked at me. I looked at him, and he pissed his pants as he was walking off. I was like, and I had a bunch of people look at me and say, "What? My locker's there." And there's plenty of people. There was a few other instances. I won't get into it, but it was kind of messed up.
Hey, Bear. Yeah, right. I'm listening. Me and Kipper, we're scheming over here. We may have something to announce tomorrow.
Oh,
we're trying to decide whether what we want to do yet. So we're scheming a little bit.
Well, it is your turn to pick the subject.
Well, I see Miss Carla say, I can't wait for your vampire and immortal stories. Well, I do have a vampire story.
Oh, nice.
Okay. I was 14 years old. Yeah, I know. I was young. I dated older guys. What can I say? That was my forte.
That happens.
Well, my mother worked with this guy that rode a motorcycle, had beautiful, beautiful long blonde hair and blue eyes, pale skin. And I used to go to work with my mom and sit in the cafeteria some nights while she worked. She worked at a factory.
Okay.
And up there, her and her brother, my uncle, and my stepfather and my mom's friends, like they all worked up there at the same place at the same time. And I got to know this guy by sitting in the cafeteria because he would come out before everybody else at their late lunch hour, which would be basically midnight. And I would be sitting up there and he would come out and we would have conversations, just, getting to know each other. Well, he asked me one night, could he come down and us go out? And I said, sure. And so he came down not on his bike, but he came down in this van. And this should have been red flag number 1. Well, we kind of rode around and everything and hung out and got something to eat. But the thing was, he didn't eat. He took me to get something to eat, but he didn't eat. And I didn't think that was too strange. I just thought it was a little odd. Well, there's a gas station right beside a school. And hey, Blues Cruise, how are you? And thank you for tuning in. And well, this guy, like I said, didn't eat. We went and parked in the school parking lot. In between, there's like a gas station, parking lot, a school parking lot, and then another school parking lot. There's 3 parking lots all back to back. 2 of them are the schools, but we were in the middle parking lot. That was the school's parking lot. And of course, we got in the back of the van and was making out and all that good jazz. What teenagers do.
Yeah, sure enough.
He bit me. And I'm not talking about a love nibble on the neck or anything like that. No. He had 2 fangs. I have one right here. If y'all know what I'm talking about, some people have them, some don't. I have 2, but one's longer than the other. He literally bit me, let's see, right up in here. I think it was on the left side. He literally bit me and left 2 puncture holes in me. Big ass puncture holes.
Wow.
I told my best friend, she's seen it. She got to meet him. Well, come to find out, he practiced sanguine. He was a sanguine. I did not know this at the time. Had no clue at the time. Until me and my girlfriend got to digging in on him and digging information, and she got to go into work with me up there at my mom. And he stopped coming out at the time I was there. So we would literally sit there and wait all night, all through my mom's shift, to ride back home with my mom to see this guy. And he would come out. He would literally stay behind the factory doors where you couldn't enter unless you were an employee until we left. And then when we would leave, my uncle would see him on camera, come out, get on his motorcycle, and leave. Because there were big windows, and he would park on the other side of the big window on the street to be able to watch his motorcycle. So I told my first boyfriend this. Of course, he didn't believe me. He thought I was full of shit. Until I got my best girlfriend to explain to him what had happened, that she had seen it, that she knew him. And then he believed it. And then I got with somebody else and told them the same story. And of course, they didn't believe me. They thought I was utterly lying and full of bullshit. But literally, there are people that are sanguines out there that really do practice. No, Barry, I'm not a vampire. I'm a lot of things, but a vampire ain't one. At least not yet, anyway. However, there are a lot of people that are sanguines and Kipper. But there are. Oh my God, Kipper's over here, y'all taking the piss out of me. I don't know if y'all can hear him or not, but y'all, he's giving me hell. But there are people that actually practice sanguine and stuff like that are vampires. And I just happened to be one of the ones that ran into one. So, do I know that vampires exist? Real blood-sucking vampires? Yes, they do. Do they practice? Yes. What they believe in is them taking in your blood is taking in the energy from the life force that is in you. It gives them energy, is what it does. It keeps them going. Just like an empath can be drained of energy, a vampire can be given energy by the life force that is in the blood.
Hmm.
Maybe a possible flying creature.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Around
But yes, that is my vampire story. Now, immortals, well, it just that depends on the person, the region, the religion, the culture, if you believe in immortals or not. That's one of those things where it's a personal preference. Um, I do know that mankind used to live at one time a long time, longer than what we do now. It's been
Oh yeah.
proven. I know that there was a time that mankind didn't live past the age of 30.
the Philadelphia metropolitan area.
30 was considered old.
Democracy.
Roman
And
era.
now I think the average is between 60 to 72.
America's steel industry.
Last time I checked, the average
Well,
lifespan of the human,
now it's
depending.
getting longer.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are living to be 99 or 100.
Yeah, my grandmother is almost, if not 90 now. She's pretty much up there, almost 90 years old, and she's Choctaw, and is she looks just like a Choctaw. She's gorgeous. She aged very well.
They
That's
do.
why a lot of people. I'm 41, and a lot of people say you don't look 41, and I'm like, it's just in my genes. That don't mean in another
here,
10 years I won't look old, but right now a lot of people tell me that you do not look 41. I know it, I never would have guessed you're 41. A lot of guys, like we were talking about earlier on the dating apps, they think I'm in my early 30s until they talk to me and I tell them, no, I'm 41. Hell, I have more 26-year-olds hit on me than I do men my own age.
Same
Mommy,
thing
is
here. I'm 40, but I don't look it.
Mm-mm. You really don't. You really do not look 40. Kaya,
But
But
that's because I got it. My great grandmother was full-blooded Quapaw.
yeah. No, Paula, I love you too, and I am not judgmental. I don't judge. Carla said, "Wow, I didn't know you got bitten. Good thing he didn't drink a lot of blood from you." Did it hurt when he bit you? Yes, it did. Actually, it hurt a lot. Not gonna lie. I actually yelled and jumped back. Believe it or not, but
Good thing you
I
jumped
didn't.
back.
I knew he had bit me. I just did not realize he had puncture wounded me. There was a difference. And there for a long time, for a couple of years actually, I had the scar still on me that they faded and it went away over time. Because like I said, that was 14 and I'm 41 now. So that was a good a good long time for the scars to fade and go away. But I did have scars there for, I know, at least 5 years. At least 5 years.
I still got a couple of scars from when I was younger.
Hell, I got scars.
Most of my
I got
scars are
scars
from.
all over me. From my amputations, they basically y'all butchered me. You've seen people and pictures of people with amputations where it's just like a little incision line and then their skin's wrapped over and they wear the little cuffs and everything. No, that's not what mine looks like. No, I'm on my own 5G. Yeah, it does that sometimes. But if it does, I'll just swap it back, Kipper. He was telling me he cut his Wi-Fi on, and if it swaps back, whatever.
Oh,
But yeah, that's
you're cutting out. I think we lost her.
my back. Okay, it jumped Wi-Fi. It jumped from his hot my net to his hotspot. I know, and it did it. I had to swap it back. I had to wait till it did it.
I can't be on much longer. I gotta
That's
go to
fine.
bed.
I got to do some more research on what I told you I was researching anyway.
Yeah. Well, you
But,
want to call it?
Sure. Everybody, I hope you had a good night tonight. Like I said, check out Grim Soul Taker's channel. He has tons and tons and tons of videos on all different types of topics. I think Kipper just wants to be on the show. Barry, Kipper popped in the other night.
Yeah, last night,
on the live. Yeah. But y'all will see Kipper more often. He'll pop in every once in a while. If you feel like donating to the Cash App or PayPal, please do, because it will help me greatly, because I do need to purchase StreamYard now that we're going to be doing more of the Misfit shows and more of the occult series. I'm going to have to purchase StreamYard, and right now I don't have the extra for it. And we're going to end up running out of time before the end of the month resets anyway. So if you'd like to help, I wish to thank you for that. Like I said, you can go down through my community tab on my channel page, and you will see links to 2 different Amazon lists. You can find my GoFundMe there. But the easiest way, if you want to contribute, is through my PayPal or especially my Cash App. My Cash App's the #1 thing I use. You can always email me at lakayatucker@gmail.com at any time about anything. And we could have a conversation from there. Grim, is there any way they can get in touch with you about telling a story or anything?
Other than I do have a Gmail. Or my main email is I don't check my Gmail often, but my main email is ZEOR Z001 @hotmail.com.
Okay.
That's the best way to get hold of me for stuff like that. I check that daily.
Okay.
So.
Barry said, Kipper, you're really a juvenile Bigfoot. There's Kipper, Barry. Barry said you're a juvenile Bigfoot. Okay, hold on, y'all. Kipper's going to climb over. That's my nephew, Kipper, y'all. This is my best friend besides my sister. He is my rock. He is my everything.
I'm trying to get my eyes to unblur.
It's called 420, baby. You're not going to. But good night, everybody. See you later, Barry. I'll give you a call in just a few minutes. Till next time. See you later.
Peace out.